Father Michael, Father Michael, Father Michael, Father Michael, Father Michael, Father Michael.
Hey kids, it's Father Michael here. I'm in the car, I'm going off to the football with Mr. Mickey. Say hi, Mr. Mickey.
Hello.
Now, do you know which way you're going, Mr. Mickey?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't really got a clue, but I'm sure there's some football somewhere.
Oh, well, we'll have to see how we get on then, won't we? Okay. Well, I don't know which way we're going to go, Mickey.
Neither do I, I'm just going to follow the car.
Oh, follow the car. To you, to me, to you. Okay, well, Bexhill, Hastings. Oh, Norman's Bay. Oh, we've been this way, Mickey.
Oh dear.
Oh, what are we doing? I don't know where to go. I tell you what, come off on this one, Mickey.
Okay.
Let's try this one, Bexhill and Hastings. I'm sure we're trying to get to somewhere called Little Common. Do you think we're going the right way, Mickey, Mr. Mickey?
I haven't a clue. I think we're sort of in the right direction, but we'll just see.
I wonder, do you mind if I give you a little bit of advice?
That would be great, yes please.
Well, I just wondered, shall I get the map book out?
That would probably be a very good idea.
I'll do that then. Aha! Now I can see where we need to be going. Up at this roundabout, Mickey, we've got to take a right, then a left, then a left and a right, then we go over the junction, the traffic lights, and it might be after that. Oh, I hope that's good enough advice. You see, if I look at the map, I can see which way we're going. I hope you don't mind me giving you that advice, Mr. Mickey.
That's absolutely fine, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mickey, we're going to take the second turning on the left. That's the first turning, and we're going to take this one here. Oh, thank you, map book, and thank you, Mr. Mickey, for listening to advice. That's very humble of you. Okay, here we are at the football, kids. We've got here okay, and that's because Mr. Mickey, driving, he took advice.
Right, guys. Right, thanks.
Go on.
Oh!
Yes, that's it. What a ball.
Give up! Come on, Tommy!
A touch.
Go on, Sammy! Go on! Go on!
Be first! Be first!
With you? Yes! Oh!
Ray! That's a penalty, Ray!
Tell him, Graham, tell him.
Unlucky.
Moses did some great things, didn't he, for the Hebrew people? He followed what God told him to do, and, well, God did some great things through Moses, didn't he? You remember that God, well, he set the Hebrew people free from the Egyptians. They were slaves. Do you remember we learnt that in the kids club? And then Moses took the people through the desert. They had to go through a sea which God opened up. God sent plagues, didn't he, on the Egyptians? And last week, Phil McCavity told us about, my friend Phil McCavity, the Scottish dentist. We heard from him about the fact that God provided food in the desert for the Hebrew people. Birds came down and there was some sort of bread, what they called manna, that was on the ground in the morning. Now Moses, when he had to do all this stuff for God, or for the Hebrew people, he had to leave his wife and his children in another land so they would stay safe, and they stayed with their, well, it was Moses' father-in-law, so it was his wife's daddy. His name was Jethro. But you know, they came to be reunited at one time, and Moses by now was the leader of so many Hebrew people, perhaps even over 1 million, maybe even 2 million people he was looking after. Now, because he was sort of their boss and he looked after them, and there were queues and queues of people every single day that wanted to speak to him and get help from him and get his, well, see what he wanted to say on certain things. Now, when Jethro came and found him, Jethro just was so pleased that God had kept them all safe, that he'd been with them, and that he'd done all the miracles that he'd done. But he had a bit of advice for Moses. And he said, Moses, you're going to get really tired out. You've got queues of people all the way over there every day needing your help. Why don't you find some really good, strong men that really trust God and let them share the load with you? You see, that was really good advice from Jethro. Really good advice to Moses. And Moses, he could have just said, oh no, I'm all right, I can do it. But he took that advice. And you know what? It made life a lot easier. That there were other people sharing in all the stuff that Moses had to do. So what I'm trying to say, kids, just like we saw in the film with Mickey, that's Mr. Mickey and myself, we went to the football, didn't we? But we weren't sure of the way. So I opened the map and had a look, and I had to give Mr. Mickey some advice. And the advice was to show us how to get to the football match at Little Common. Mickey, he could have said, no, I'll find the way. But he took the advice. So you might say, Father Michael, what's this got to do with me, all this Moses stuff? Taking advice. Well, kids, that's what we can do, isn't it? Sometimes we might need to take advice. That means if people are trying to help us and got some kind words to say to try and make us better at something, or help us with some homework, or perhaps our parents or our friends at school, they can give us some advice, and it would be good for us sometimes to take that advice. We have to think about it. And we have to know that we trust that person, whether it's a friend at school or your parents or even somebody that's looking after your kids club. But also, kids, we could give advice, couldn't we? If we saw one of our friends at school that's perhaps a bit upset, in a bit of a pickle about something, we might be able to just put our arm around them and say, are you okay? Perhaps I could help you. We could give them advice. So Moses, he had to humble himself. And Mr. Mickey in the story had to humble himself. What that means is we don't think we know it all. And sometimes we need to maybe sort of put a hand up and say, I need some help really. And then sometimes we could be the people that give the help. We give advice. Anyway, I hope you've understood what I was trying to say from the story of Moses today. I hope, kids, you have a great week. This is Father Michael saying goodbye for now. Cheers.